Hello and welcome to a brand new video series about the unit called the BLEShark. The BLEShark is the new, I would call the Flipper Zero Killer Challenger. So this video, I'm gonna talk about the BLEShark itself, present the unit, and I will also show you the installation of the unit. And since this is a series of BLEShark videos, I'm gonna make a video for every single functionality on the BLEShark that I want to show you, so I can show you the way to use it in a real practical manner.
This content is for educational purposes only. Please read the 4 points below before you proceed. If you want to use this knowledge, please be aware only to use it on your own possessions. Do not hack anyone, that is illegal and you can go to jail.
First of all, let's talk about what the BLEShark is, and let's also look at it, how small it actually is. Now, it can fit my hand like this. It's a small one. It's very handy, and there are different kind of technologies wired into this small unit. So let's take a look at the web page right here. It's called BLEShark, and there are content, compliance, and documentations. I'm zoomed in a bit. You can also pre-order right now. It's on Kickstarter, and I think most of the early birds are done already. But this is the actual unit as we see it. It is the BLEShark. It is the final production-made case for this, and it is the same that I have right here. So I want to say thank you for BLEShark to send me one of the units to test it out and create some videos about it for you guys, so you can see what's going on in the tech industry and what is possible with a small handheld unit these days and a small amount of programming. Well, small amount, probably a bigger amount than you probably think. But when you are in the technical field and you can combine hardware and programming, you can create some pretty powerful units with a small amount of hardware. This is what the guys did from BLEShark, and I really think this is a unit that has a really great potential. Now, I'm going to compare this to the Flipper Zero, the one we have right here. And right now, let's just, look at it right now in 2 different sizes. You can see that the Flipper Zero and the BLEShark are actually pretty different in sizes. The screen size is also a bit smaller on the BLEShark compared to the Flipper Zero. And I want to talk about, the overall differences and the overall what is different in the BLEShark, what is better on the Flipper Zero. So I'm going to end up wrapping up this video by showing you how to install the BLEShark and the installation process. There's actually a setup process, pretty easy to do, but I'm going to show you how to do that in this video as well. I'm also going to talk about the overall comparison to the Flipper Zero. And later in this series, I'm going to create one video for every single functionality in the BLEShark, and you can follow on, watch the video to the end and see what kind of different functionalities there are on the BLEShark. And those I'm going to create a video for individually on this channel. So let's continue checking out what the BLEShark is all about. It's a small, compact, powerful tool designed for pentest developers and beginners. So it is, of course, something that's handheld. We can do something called Bluetooth spamming, Wi-Fi spamming, DDoS attack, captive portals, infrared communication capabilities, and auto firmware updates. Now, this is a real interesting feature they added on to the device that actually brings a great value towards the device. I think, auto updates on stuff like the Flipper Zero could also be really good, but it kind of requires me to put in the cable, connect it to the machine, open something called QFlipper, download the firmware, and so on. If you're using custom firmware for Flipper Zero, you need to do even more steps. So already now, we can conclude that the beginner-wise competition is winning on the BLEShark side. So we're gonna say BLEShark is of course better for beginners because it's just out of the box, 3 buttons, nothing difficult to use about it. It's really easy to use. So I'm going to say the BLEShark is going to win the contest of the beginner-friendly competition between the Firma Zero and the BLEShark. All right, so it also offers a vast suite of application and games and so on. And I know the guys from BLEShark, I think it's called, is going to create other kind of firmware updates along the way to push on more different kind of firmware to do more different things. So what will we see in the future with this device is very interesting. So I kind of, look forward to see what they can do to explore the boundaries on the wireless and infrared exploitation. All right, so going down here, we can see that there is a small overview here of what's going on. We have an OLED display, so the graphics can be really great, actually. It's a small screen, almost one inch, is a 0.60 inch OLED display. There's a battery switch you can turn on and off. It kind of charges really fast. It's a USB for charging, so basically any USB cable on your computer, and boom, you're good to go. It's an ESP-C3 SAO main chip there. We got some ultra satisfying buttons for menu navigation. I like the word satisfying, it is 3 buttons, of course. They do say click when you hit it like this. So it's, when you click it, right? So I think that's really great. On the back end here, we got stuff like the infrared transmitter. That is the one you see here in the front of the BLEShark. And we got the infrared receiver, which is on the other side right there. On the bottom here, which you cannot see it, you got the UFO antenna for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And they're using Philips head screws. And the fun part is that in Star Wars, there's actually a clip, fun fact, where they zoom in on the lightsaber, and they see Philips screws. So I think it's very interesting that even in Star Wars, they use Philips screws. So we know Star Wars universe, Philips screws, that is a thing. That's just a fun fact. And it's kind of a okay amount of, a powerful battery. It's a 500 milliamps lithium iron battery, 3.7 volts, I think it says right there. And I know it's possible for me to unscrew it and look what's inside, but I didn't really do these kind of things. I just, test the device and talk about it. So for pen testing, we got different stuff like the BLESpam. So BLESpam is something we do when you send a lot of, connection requests or utilize some sort of vulnerability in the Bluetooth protocol or network protocol. And depending on what that is, it can either crash devices or take over a device depending on the amount of vulnerabilities or the vulnerability type there is on the particular version of Bluetooth, or also on the particular kind of device. Some Bluetooth attacks work better on iPhones, on Android phones, or even on Windows, computers, and just laptops, tablets, and so on. So everything contains Bluetooth these days. And actually, if you go to an airport, for example, this small device here could actually potentially be pretty dangerous, because you can, create these Wi-Fi access point spam stuff to duplicate network. You can create captive portals and so on. So you can actually grab a lot of passwords from people. And I know what you're going to use those passwords for, but at the end of the day, you can collect people's email passwords, which will grant, in most occasions, access to stuff like Facebook, Instagram, other social media stuff, and other accounts they have, and also just looking through personal mails and so on. Of course, if they do have two-factor authentication, you cannot get access, but still, many people don't have that, so this kind of device can actually test the vulnerability for different kind of people if they haven't, enabled two-factor authentication. The authentication testing is also very interesting. It's something that is being worked on in the Wi-Fi industry by introducing the WPA3 protocol, which actually make this kind of attack a bit different, because sure, you can deauthenticate people, but what you usually want to do is to grab the handshake between the client and the server. so you can offline crack the password, which is not possible on a WPA3 protocol anymore. It is impractical to do it because you need to connect to the actual access point every time. There are some versions of firmware, well, software for the WPA protocol that will enable you to do different kind of attacks on that protocol. Well, but then again, everything got some zero-day or end-day vulnerability. Who knows, right? But just the overall documentation is that the WPA1 and the WPA2 are vulnerable to offline attacks, and to capture that you need to do DAuth, and this is can do de-authentication. So it's a lot easier to do, you know, a combined attack with a laptop and a BLEShark, for example. And of course, the kind of attack can also be done with a FlipperZero. What you basically need to do with the FlipperZero is to buy yourself a GPIO pin card, which is inserted on the top of FlipperZero. So the difference here, just to talk about this again, is that the FlipperZero is probably more customizable in terms of you can put your own stuff in. So if I want to compare the BLEShark to the FlipperZero right now, they'll probably say that the FlipperZero is a little more like an Android phone because you can do more stuff if you want to do it. My experience is that the people don't really want to do these kind of things. They just want to buy the GPIO pin card and then burn down the firmware and use it as it is. So they just want to use the firmware. Many people don't really do their own stuff, right? There's only like 1 or 2 different kind of firmware that are used for the FlipperZero, which is Marauder, one of them. And Marauder does something the same as what is already on the BLEShark. So the BLEShark can do the same kind of things already. So what I'm gonna say is that, is it then the same to have a BLEShark in many occasions? And I would probably say, yeah, it probably is. Of course, there are some differences to the FlipperZero. Granted, it is a different device. It is more expensive. You know, I'm going to say $200, around $40. You know, that's a big change. So it's like 5 times cheaper device compared to the FlipperZero. And still, you know, you get a device, the BLEShark device, that can do so many more things. What you cannot do is, there are some things, you know, you can do on the FlipperZero, like what you call it, radio signal stuff, you know, and I did not see the radio signal stuff here on the list. And you can see it can do stuff like remote infrared, you know, TV big on, it's just infrared again, you know, receive the infrared signals, transmit your stuff. You can do built-in applications, different kind of things here. What you usually don't think about as vulnerability testing, but there are different kind of things here going on. So what we will see in the future is how much can they make with firmware auto updating, pushing out different kind of tweaks and stuff for Bluetooth, for Wi-Fi, you know, and for infrared. This is 3 key points you're gonna see in the BLEShark. So I would say in many occasions, if you're looking for a device, small, handheld, extremely cheap, versatile, auto updates, easy to use, 3 buttons, you don't have games, you know, go for the BLEShark. You know, I have a FlipperZero, as you know already from the video. I created videos about it. I also love my FlipperZero, but it's just a lot more work to do the same kind of things, because 99.9999999 plus 10 do not create their own firmware. They say, oh, then I have the possibility, but they can't. They don't do it. They're just down with my water all the time. If that is the case, and what you're gonna do, get the BLEShark. If you wanna record some radio signals to do like the Tesla charger open, which is ridiculous. Why do that? Why want to open the Tesla charger? You know, why? Okay, then of course you need to buy the FlipperZero. I get that, but then again, why would you do that? Also, if you want to try and record some radio signals for your, like the carport or something like that, or, you know, fine, I understand it, I get it, but why? You know, the things you usually want to do with a device like the FlipperZero is the Wi-Fi attacks, it's going to be the infrared stuff, and the Bluetooth stuff, you know. Some of the radio signals are also fun, but Yeah, I know. It's just a 5 times more expensive device. And I'm just going to have to say it like this. If I were to go out and choose one of the devices, I would definitely go and buy the BLEShark at the very first device. No, I do test devices. This is what I do on my channel. So, of course, I would buy everything. I would try the different devices, compare them. And there are many different devices that could be compared to the BLEShark and the Flipper Zero. We also talked about the LilyPad, Go, whatever called, Go LilyPad, whatever. Yeah, something like that, right? And we also talked about that could be updated with different kind of firmware, with the Boost firmware and so on. But even so, there is no such thing as the BLEShark other than the BLEShark. It is so easy to use. It is very small. You can almost like hide it in your hands. A really powerful small device. So I would say, they really done it this time. I'm usually not this, surprised by a device, but look at how small it is and what it can do. So BLEShark, definitely gonna go ahead and get it if you want these things. Really are easy. Captive portal, evil porting, including like a personalized SSID, viewing safe credentials for even evil portal sessions. So these are things you want to do. For example, in an airport, if you're doing pen tests, please don't go ahead and do these kind of things. But if you're hired by an airport, for example, in the airport security, these are the things you can do, and then make it like, oops, you did something you should not do, and let people know that you did something like a test. So don't go around and use the devices for illegal purposes. That is extremely bad idea. Also want to talk about, this is just a video for educational purposes. So I present the different kind of functionalities on my own stuff, on my own devices. I would never consent or advise anyone to do this, to perform illegal actions. That is a bad idea. To set up the BLEShark, you need to connect to the BLEShark setup Wi-Fi access point. If you cannot find the correct IP address, access the properties menu there and check out the IP version 4. Input that manually into the browser and access the website, where you're prompted to log in with the credentials showed on the BLEShark screen that is turned on right now. Enter the credentials and click on the login button whenever you type them correctly. Pay attention to the small and large letters. After that, click on the scan network button. Maybe click it twice before it detects your own network. Select your own network, your Wi-Fi access point network. After that, you need to put in your password so your BLEShark can connect to the Wi-Fi network at home. And then you have a successful installation of the BLEShark. You can also connect to your phone's Wi-Fi if you want to do that additionally. And after you set up the BLEShark, you can go through the menu as I'm showing you right here. There's a bit of glare on the screen, but I'm trying to clear it up with the camera according to my iPhone. And we got the Bluetooth receivers and infrared and the power button and so on, different devices and USB charger stick and the button. Config buttons, going through the menu here, the Bluetooth attacks, the spam menu, so on. And clicking the button, we have the Wi-Fi menu, we have the infrared controls, we have the bad Bluetooth devices, the games, the applications, and the settings. And the installation of the device is now done. It's ready to use. So I want to say thank you for watching this far. If you got to this point in the video, you probably learned a lot about how to set up the BLEShark, what it's all about, and what is my opinion about it. So definitely go ahead and get the BLEShark. It's a wonderful small piece of technology that can do many interesting, fun, small things that can be a part of your daily routine, your job for pen testing, and so on. Okay, so if you're not subscribed to my channel already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Also, if we can get 100 likes, even 200 likes in this video, I'm going to try and make sure to push out the next video even faster. Also, if you have any wishes for a pen testing thing I should do with the BLEShark, comment that below as well. I will definitely read your comments and try and reply to all of them if there's actual a real question. Okay, so I want to say thank you for watching again. See you again online and have a really nice day.